Five-tier as a platform started 7 years ago. Prior to that, I had started a consultancy, which turned into an agency of 60 people 7 years prior. And throughout the process of building the consultancy into what became the agency, we had sort of grown into an inability to deliver on solving the problem that we set out to solve. So when I started to consult, I was consulting on the fact that marketing programs should be integrated. And clients really like that because a lot of big clients have 6, 7 agencies around the table. For each agency, you're paying fees. And I thought that that could be consolidated. So my consultancy quickly grew into an agency. We were doing everything from creative strategy to digital development to media planning and buying. But then we got so big that if a client called up and said, hey, I really want this one thing and I want you to work as one of 7 agencies, we had to. And it was at that point, 10 years ago, that I realized we had all this technology that could really do the heavy lifting. And over the course of 2 years, we took all that technology, put it into the platform that is now Five-Tier Connect. And now we're able to deliver cross-channel marketing and media solutions in everything from digital out-of-home to TV to radio, email, text message, even direct mail. So through one platform, and I have to say we have a lot of agency clients as well who use this, you can access all those channels so you don't have to fragment spend across 10 different providers. So I'm very proud to say that total of 15 years ago almost, I set out to solve the problem of fragmented marketing, and we've done that successfully in this platform that connects to all forms of media in one place. So, on the screen here, you have our winter spring presentation, which we need to update as we're getting into summer. And on the lower right there, you see the dashboard for Connect, giving you the ability to build awareness campaigns that tie into action marketing programs, basically email, text, and things of that nature, and then attribution on the far right, where you can tie in things like point of sale. So, before I get into the slides, quick example is you target a TV ad to only people who are buyers of sneakers, let's say in London. Only people that have that interest, that are actively in the market to buy, are going to see that commercial. And then if you have a call to action that says visit the website or visit a website, you would then have the ability to see that that person that you were trying to reach actually visited a website. And then on the right side, if you link your point of sale system, let's say they're buying shoes online, you'll be able to track that that person saw that ad that was singularly targeted towards them. They went to the website because that was the call to action, and they ultimately bought. So it's very hyper efficient marketing is what the platform provides. So just to reiterate, you can instantly create targeted markets based on 32,000 plus different data sets. This includes search data, mobile data, even data that shows where people are moving throughout the course of their day. So again, if someone visits an office building during the day and you're trying to target a B2B campaign to a CEO, you actually have the ability to reach that person on their home television after they leave the office, knowing that they were spending time in a building, performed certain searches. Let's say they're looking for a new, new distributor. You as that distributor who's vying for that business, you could then display an ad on their home TV, which would be more effective because they're in a more relaxed state and sort of out of their day-to-day. So tons of data points. Again, you can reach through any media or marketing channel, both broadcast and direct. We define broadcast as out-of-home, TV, and radio. Direct would be something like direct mail, text message, email. And then the platform allows you to immediately see and track engagement, follow up, and run retargeting campaigns on an individual level. And you can attribute success to everything from a web or store visit to point of sale. So how do we get here? 1950s arguably was the golden age of broadcast, post-World War II. Families were buying TVs, they were buying radios. So you had your broadcast golden age come to be. Once broadcast became sort of a little generic and everybody was used to it, you had direct marketing come around in the 1980s, where you had phone numbers on a commercial that said, hey, call this number, and then you could time it and you could track it, and that's where really data started to be used for the purposes of marketing and advertising. early 2000s with the internet and quote unquote online, you had the digital, social, and then mobile explosion where you were advertising on more direct channels. You could target someone based off of their Facebook interests, and we all know sort of how that's grown over the last couple of years. So now we have all these forms of marketing, and it's important to note that 5-10 years ago, broadcast didn't have the capabilities to do what it does today in the way of targeting, but they've built that capability to be able to reach people on an individual level, just like you could reach them online. So really connected media is this next phase of growth. And because we were a bit ahead of the curve, we were able to launch the platform, and now we're seeing great success with adoption. So 5-Tier Connect, simple way to boil it down. Target your customers, build your audiences that you're trying to reach, sometimes down to an individual level. If you have key account lists or customer lists, engage them through any form of media. So again, the nice part about this is, let's say you're trying to reach a market of 5,000 people, and you think that television is the way to go. And you run your ads on television, but that day they're listening to radio. Let's say there's a festival going on and they're not actually watching TV. Through our platform, if you let the platform do the heavy lifting, you can reach them wherever they are when the right time, when the time is right to send the message. So connected media solves a number of problems, but also taking the guesswork out of where to reach people is one of those powerful solutions. And then again, attribution is what we're all about. We want to make sure customer acquisition costs are as efficient as they can be, and that they actually tie back to driving profits forward. So if it costs too much to reach a customer in a particular market, and because of that, there's not going to be a large profit margin, our system can actually tell you, hey, you're not going to make any money because it's going to cost you more money to acquire the customer than the profit you'd be driving. Why don't you spend your money over here where those profit margins would be higher? Over the years, I'm pleased to say we've gotten a ton of press. As of this video, if you Google CNBC billboards, my talk on Power Lunch is the first one that comes up. Forbes covered us in the early days and nailed it, saying that 5-Tier is built to be the operating system for integrated marketing, which I feel we have achieved. So in total, probably 10 Class A press outlets have covered us. This gets a bit into how our targeting engine works. So we have both high-level targeting, think census. That only changes, once every 10 years here in the US. And to note, we are worldwide. We have access to screens and networks around the world. But here in the US, if you're looking at the census, that's something that changes, at most every 10 years. But then daily, there are things like weather, traffic, consumer behavior searches, news. If something happens in the news, that might actually change the buyer's persona. So we have access to that granular data to place campaigns, target and attribute based off of both high level historically where things have been and granular market shifts. And then again, cross-channel attribution in a single dashboard. You see how long somebody watched a TV commercial, if they watched it and went to a website, how long they stayed there as a result. If they abandoned the website and let's say they went to the store, we can show you that data as well. And then let's say they didn't buy, you can actually run a retargeting campaign to get them to buy. So the way it works, I get this question all the time. All right, cool, bought in. What do I do? Sign up for an account on 5tier.com. And see here, it's open access, very transparent. Unlike other platforms that require a set of meetings, and then at the end you see a big price tag. We are free to access, and then media starts at $1 per play for every place but Times Square, Piccadilly Circus, what we call our spectacular premium placements. So the first thing is create an account. More sophisticated marketers, first thing we're going to want to do is create an audience. A lot of clients just jump into media placement because they know the market they want to be in, and they want to kind of see the effect of being able to, say, buy a billboard or a TV spot and then have it run where they're watching it. But we always recommend create your target audience first, then choose your media channels, and then once you upload your creative is approved, and immediately you start seeing reporting. So within a couple of minutes, you can launch an integrated media campaign globally for just a few dollars. And ultimately what it's going to do, it's going to lower your gross budgets. So you don't have to go into the platform and commit $25,000, $250,000, millions of dollars. You can start from what we call the bottom up. You can go in and say, hey, I want to test this market for a few $100s, a few $1,000s, and then see what happens over the course of a few days. And that's typically what we've seen clients do. Start small, see the success, see the efficiency, which is point 2, launch quickly, and then really start to roll this out either in parallel with existing campaigns or on its own. Also fortunate to say, in addition to the great press, thousands of clients per year, from your mom and pops to small businesses up to the Fortune 500s. We work across B2B, B2C, and what we call B2O, because we have political campaigns that run through here. We have people that, as I mentioned earlier in that distributor example, that are trying to impact influencers within an organization. So we've run, your typical direct response campaigns, both in the business and consumer sense, but we've also run influencer campaigns with companies who are trying to achieve different goals. A few examples. Trane is a heating and air conditioning company here in the US. We lowered their cost per acquisition from a $300 cost per lead, where their cost per acquisition was actually in the thousands of dollars, down to $100 for a confirmed installation of heater or air conditioner. In the middle there, in the spirits category, we built a brand from the ground up in just a couple of hours. And within the first year, they had $500,000 in sales, and it led to an acquisition. And then for Accor Hotels, I believe it's the world's 3rd largest hospitality company. It might be number 2 now. We took over Times Square on New Year's Eve. In the second that the ball started to count down from 10, we were able to change the screens behind the ball drop to promote Accor's loyalty program. And we're consistently over industry benchmarks by a minimum of 2x. Most times it's north of 5x. And I'm happy again to say that in the last several years, I can't think of one time where we've missed the mark. Product launch for Thomson Reuters is another example, getting traders to sign up for a trial product of their competition to the Bloomberg Terminal. This is a media company where we're able to target media buyers in elevators as they were entering the office. We were able to track them through to submitting a request for proposals from this media company. Overall delivered, I think it was 500 new leads within a matter of days. And then Lexus, getting someone to take a test drive, knowing that they took a test drive, and then when the person went home, showing on the TV ad on their screen for the car model that they just test drove and liked but didn't buy. So another example there of driving to do something and then retargeting based off of knowing that they took that action.